Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've loved Searchlight Pictures for years now, and their newest project is one that I didn't get too involved with when it came to trailers and any promotional material, but nonetheless I was particularly anticipating this one's release. So with an all-star cast and a distinctly unnerving mystery to it, this is Kier's Reviews and this is my review of the menu.
Shall we choose?
Choose what?
Very well. Left hand. Ring finger.
Let me out! Let me out! No!
Come on, leave the guy alone.
What are you doing? Leave him.
Come on, do it. Come on, easy. Leave the guy alone.
Mr. Libre, please hold still.
The menu was nothing short of flawless in every way. There is so much to unpack about this film, and the fact that it surprised me so much in its final product with such a strong story and brilliant performances was truly an experience I haven't had for a long time. Whilst the marketing of it being a horror was entirely wrong, it supremely stands as a solid thriller comedy, constantly dripping with tension and laugh-out-loud comedy, sometimes both at the same time. Going in, I knew of the cast but hadn't really seen the trailers fully, but had a decent interest in checking it out with no prior knowledge, and wow, did that make the experience so much more enticing and captivating. This is a film told in chapters through each course of this menu that Ralph Fiennes' character, head chef, has perfectly organised for each individual member of this fine dining and overexpensive restaurant. The way in which these chapters progress varies in intensity and tone, and it beautifully gives audiences a deeper look into what is going wrong with some of these characters. It doesn't set up backstories for anybody, but does give some context in its opening scene in order to prepare audiences for the main feature. Immediately you feel at ease, laughing and enjoying all of the recognisable Hollywood celebrities within this cast. The comfortability of the first three courses is brilliant, as the only real tension is through Fiennes' claps. While you do have that knowledge of this being marketed as a horror, you have that in the back of your mind throughout the first three courses, to the point where you forget entirely about it since you feel so safe and are enjoying what you're watching. However, when the first big twist comes in, it's immensely shocking despite the masterful build-up of intensity that comes before it, and if I found anything frightening, it was the intensity leading up to the traumatic event. Having that question of what will happen next constantly on the tip of your tongue for the entire film was incredulously unnerving but strangely exciting as you awaited the next traumatic event. The best thing about these events is that you don't know how it will be enacted, but once you feel that tension building up with the head chef, you're instantly on the edge of your seat, wondering just how graphic this story will get.
Who are you?
Margot. My name is Margot.
I've served many Margots. You're not a Margot. No.
What the fuck does it matter?
It matters because this menu, this guest list, this entire evening has been painstakingly planned, and you were not a part of that plan. And it's spoiling everything.
The anticipation of these graphic moments are always followed instantly by something hilarious, whether it be subtle to the audience or not, and I found myself laughing constantly with the film even immediately after watching something terrible happening. The only way I can explain this without spoiling anything from the menu is that there's a scene in Pulp Fiction where someone gets killed suddenly, and then you're laughing at John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson's reactions instantly, even when you feel guilty or bad that you're laughing after something so upsetting or brutal. That's how I felt the entire way throughout the menu. There's a graceful period where you relax, but are always on edge. Then you get to the tension building, and then finally a traumatic event occurs, and afterwards, you're immediately laughing. It's such a brilliantly well-structured piece of film, as you never take your eyes off the screen, even when you know what horrible thing is about to happen. You're glued to every second of this movie, and it earns each of those seconds that audiences give to the story. It's brilliant in almost every aspect when it comes to the tone and the tension. The cast is without a doubt packed full of very recognisable faces, especially with the lead three actors in Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult. Even though there are many other cast members that are on the different tables and are always given opportunities to steal the spotlight in scenes with a seamless way about them, each table represents a new type of person. On one table, there are two food critics. On another, a famous celebrity and his mistress. Another, a government official and his wife, rich businessmen, and the couple that earned their experience. Each table has a deliberate turn of choice in the script, and the overarching theme in this movie is revenge for a specific style of trauma. Working out those traumas and who they apply to is what makes the mystery of the menu so memorable, as it's not always the head chef that perpetuates these traumas, but also, unknowingly, other characters that seem to have no connection in the beginning. Everyone has their hidden secrets, and as the plot unfolds, it unravels that trauma and condemns another one of the characters, with a perfect way of linking it all back to the head chef in one way or another.
I have to beg of you one thing. It's just one. Do not eat. Taste. Savor. Relish. Consider every morsel that you place inside your mouth. Be mindful, but do not eat.
Since it was marketed as a horror comedy, the comedy is in very large supply, and whether each individual audience member embraces it or notices it is up to that individual, but I caught most of the subtle jokes and found myself laughing when no one else in the cinema was. It is distinctly dark humour, and while some of the best jokes come straight after something terrible, whether you laugh or not is truly up to your own sense of humour. The menu really does deliver on its comedy genre, and while there isn't a horror aspect to this film, and it relies more on the aspects of a thriller instead, there are a few subtle jump scares that can catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. The entire experience of seeing this movie is seamless and without a hitch, because it balances the mystery with the thriller genre, but also provides quality comedy out of it. Nicholas Hoult was the source of a lot of the comedy, and if you don't pay attention to his performance, which is sometimes faded into the background, that comedy can be lost. But he, along with the rest of the cast, really committed to portraying these characters in the way that they were written, and because it was written so well, they all delivered an exquisite movie. Anya Taylor-Joy was astounding in this, and I think it's because she stands out as the diner who doesn't feel comfortable with how much everyone else is gushing about the experience and the quality of the food, but her character arc wonderfully weaves into nearly every scene's purpose, and whether that purpose is to punish or to condemn those that have done wrong, she finds a way to liberate herself through her natural reactions. It's a quality that I haven't seen emanated from any other actress before, and it's a quality that makes Anya Taylor-Joy so unique and stick out from the crowd. Ralph Fiennes was quite intimidating from the first moment you see him until the very ending. He has this demeanour about him that truly unnerves you, and every decision or clap that he performs gets under your skin, and psychologically, I thought that he was the source of being quite haunting and casting a shadow over the supposedly joyful experience that these characters had paid for. The menu takes many twists and turns, and comes at the moments where you least expect it, and because it catches you at a vulnerable moment, the chaos that ensues afterwards becomes even more exciting.
To our male diners, we now offer you the chance to escape. You'll be given a 45-second head start, at which point members of my staff will try and catch you. If they do catch... Okay. 45 seconds starts now.
The cinematography was just gorgeous as it highlighted the delicate perfection each worker had to place into the creation of the perfect food that the head chef had chosen specifically for these guests. Seeing so closely how intricately these plates are served up and made was quite an interesting aspect of the menu that will definitely become underrated upon viewing the film, as it's the only moments that you can actually take a breather from all of the thoughts that are constantly roaming your brain as you progress through the runtime. Even though the runtime clocks in at just under 2 hours, I thought that this could have been 20 minutes longer in order to expand the major twists a bit further, and also from the pure fact that this was such an amazing film to watch. I genuinely wanted more from it. It thrills you in a way that makes you feel guilty, but the quality of this movie earns its reception in ways that most movies don't. The reactions are authentic, and while it may not be as shocking to those that are desensitized to violence, there are definitely moments that will shock you without violence through the discovery and uncovering of the overarching mystery. It's distinctly so well written.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to Hawthorne. I'm Julian Slowik, and tonight it'll be our pleasure to feed you.
The Menu is a film that I instantly want to go to the cinemas to see again, as I was entirely engrossed in how this story progressed, and my eyes were glued to the screen, constantly trying to work out in my head how things would go, but always ending up with blank thoughts because the story is so fast-paced and doesn't let you linger on those thoughts. It's masterfully intense, and there's no true moment of relaxation for the audience once the first shock occurs. There aren't any sequences that are unnecessary, and it comes in at the perfect runtime that leaves audiences wanting more. The performances are perfect, and as an ensemble cast, they work together seamlessly. Everything about the menu is handled so perfectly, from its writing to the subtleties in the performances. The menu is guaranteed to thrill you, and it provides an immaculate experience that I've not witnessed in a long time. It's definitely going to be in my top 3 of 2022, and when I rewatch it, if I have the same experience with it, it may rise even higher. I loved everything about the menu, and I genuinely can't wait to see it a second time. It truly is a magnificent and extravagant achievement, so I'll give the menu a perfect 10 out of 10. Go see it now. Thank you all so much for watching. Are you going to see the menu? Let me know below. As always, be sure to have a look at my previous reviews of Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery and Thor Love and Thunder. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Letterboxd and Instagram for all of my latest movie reviews. This has been Kier's Reviews, signing off for now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.